ask Mr Don Geare, who is a business advisor for Enterprise Connect. Thanks, Don.
Morning, everyone. Looking around the room, I see that many of you are aware of Enterprise Connect. We have several clients here. So what I'm going to do in the next, just to talk to you about the business review and the $20,000 of match funding that we have available in our program. And to keep it interesting for those of you that do know about Enterprise Connect, is to introduce a new tool and workshop based around pre-qualification to the resource sector or larger industries. So we come from the same department as Oz Industry. We've been going since 2007. We've helped, there's been something like about 10,000 businesses through the program, and we've allocated something like about $70 million worth of grants. We are a totally free service to eligible businesses. The business review is intended to be very flexible, and we focus on individual needs, starting with strategy, helping businesses to identify their goals. We don't consider it to be an audit. We're looking for elephants rather than rabbits. But it does give business owners the opportunity to have conversations in private that they may not otherwise be able to have. We then focus on a lot of operational issues, and we have a range of tools to pull out some real here and now facts. So, for example, we'll use IBIS industry reports to find industry trends. We have some great benchmarking tools. So, for example, we can benchmark our clients with fabricators of between $2 and $4 million with 10 to 20 people. So it's really relevant. We can also help people analyse their HR structures and make sure that their processes are relevant to their goals. So, for example, if you're trying to deal with bigger industry, how are your internal processes? Our report is intended to be helpful with lots of links to other relevant sectors. Our recommendations, many of those will be available for our funding, and we will of course link you with other funds that are available. Our funding is $20,000 on a match basis. It's intended for any improvements that you're going to make within your business. It doesn't cover what we consider normal course of business, so for example hardware or software, but given that, if for example you're putting in a new computer system, it will cover things like the systems analysis, training and implementation. There's a whole range of things on there. Training is becoming one that seems to be standing out. We have, for example, funded quite a few clients now to go through things like the Curtin Growth Program. And another one that's coming out now is coaching and mentoring. So again, if clients are trying to access larger business in the resource sector, we have made those connections and we can use our funding to pay for that. In terms of eligibility, generally we're looking for a turnover of plus 1.5 million, so we've intended for slightly larger businesses. We started in the manufacturing sector, but we've grown quite significantly, so any companies that are supplying into the resources sector. More recently we've picked up tourism, transport, and in some ways now it's probably easier to say who doesn't qualify. So really we can't help retailers or wholesalers or primary industry, but apart from that, if you're interested in the program, come and have a talk to us. The process is very simple. The application is online, takes about 10 minutes. The business review is intended to be very, very flexible. So if, for example, your motivation is really to access the funding, we can take you through the business review reasonably quickly. Other times I've been on site for 2 days if people want me to do more of an audit. Generally, it's half a day on site to 1 day. Then we follow that up with a report, generally within a couple of weeks, and that enables you to then be able to access the funding. And on from that, we run a series of workshops in which we invite our Enterprise Connect clients to come along. We've done that. Okay. So I talked about the pre-qualification tool. Now, basically what this is a series of 92 questions which we load into your device, your laptop or whatever, and then we facilitate a session. So my colleague Martin Collard, who comes from the resource sector, he has a wealth of experience in iron ore mining. He takes you through a series of questions based around safety systems, your HR structure, any of the things that you're really going to address in pre-qualification. So, like I say, it's a half-day workshop. We'll run it with about 10 or 12 companies. And then once you come through there, we give you a report which analyses your strengths and weaknesses, lots of spider diagrams, etc., so you can then... and we give you introductions to people that can help you in areas of weakness. And then from companies that have been through that, we're going to introduce you to a panel session of local resource buyers, and that'll be on a one-on-one basis. So after you've been through and analysed your strengths and weaknesses, you can then do this one-on-one half-an-hour session with a panel of local resource buyers. We've done this around Australia, and some of the comments that come back are that I got more out of that half an hour than I have of 5 years trying to break into this industry. So I definitely recommend that you come along. We're running one of those on the 3rd of July in Bunbury. So just give me a hoy and I can get you registered for that. Where to from here? So many of you who are Enterprise Connect clients, you can still come through onto the risky program. If you're not Enterprise Connect clients, are you eligible? If not, you can still come through the risky program. Having said that, unless you've got, you know, maybe 8, 10 staff, it's probably not worth the effort. If you are eligible, apply for a review. You can do a business review at the same time as you do the risky. So that's and it probably wouldn't take you too much more effort. And you'd say, why would I do that? Well, why not if you can access that $20,000 worth of funding to address some of your weaknesses there. That bit covers that. Outcomes, these are quite dinkum outcomes from some of the clients that have been through the program. I won't get you to read them all, but the one that stands out for me is the last one. Free advice, free money. You'd be mad not to do it. My contact details are there. I too am based in Bunbury, so if I can help, please let me know.